item number 7 will be set a public hearing today for the sale of our application denied one of those decided.
Based on the changes added to the agenda, I make a motion that we accept the agenda as there is a motion by Commissioner Marty and second by Commissioner Slater. At this time, to adopt the agenda, I take vote, all those in favor. And the next item is our minutes from the September 11th meeting. Hope everyone had an opportunity to read over that. If there is any correction that we found, if not, I'll entertain a motion that is accept the minutes as presented. Okay, is there a second? Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Adams and a second by Commissioner Franklin to accept the minutes as presented. I would ask for a vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. What was that conclusion?
Right, here, my thought was that what we need to do is approve it, regular probably add regular a lot of it is moving to the public that way. But I would just add where it says regular meeting is, I would put September 11th, regular meeting and executive session. That way we'll cover it. I've had always felt that way.
So you need a motion for that?
I think it's probably.
So, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes from the executive session as shown on the Is there a second? So there's a motion by Commissioner Adams and a second by Commissioner Franklin to accept the minutes from the executive session. Ask for a vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. Next item is the municipal comments.
Good afternoon. I would like to invite all of you out on October the 10th at 7:30 p.m. for a movie on Quest. I have two cars for legal issues, but it's really a citizen that promoting all of it, and we're going to give away, I think it's McDonald's cheeseburgers in the first 200. So walk around and support this point. And I'll, if I know, I would take the card out here. Because there's more information on the little card. Oh, and I want to thank the county for starting on
You talk the parking lot behind the tax office? Is that what you're referring to? You're talking about the parking lot behind the tax office?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, since we have no other cities being represented at this time, we'll move on to our Constitution officers. I saw the sheriff earlier. You still here? Don't have anything? Okay. Anyone else? Thank you. So moving on to our department heads. There are plenty of people here today. So.
Nothing at this time.
All right, it's good. Appreciate that. All right. No report for the fire department. Public Works.
I'll be real quick. They opened Keith Road to traffic last week. Cold project still has concrete work to do. They also completed the 2 pipes on Weaver Road, open to traffic there. Like the mayor said, they started grading here on the parking lot. They've also done demolition at Woodbury Fire Station, started site work there, and are very soon going to start the foundation work on the Pebblebrook Station.
Site work's already been done with the gravel road, and they're
And they're getting very close today on Woodbury. And they've started the striping process on the LMIG projects as well.
So I noticed some of them has been completed, so it's for putting the lines and things down. They don't have that many left to do, right?
Right. I saw the truck out there today.
And where are they with in Lucasville, on that side of the road?
Oak Street.
Oak Street.
Oak Street, the paving's complete, and they haven't striped it yet, and then maybe they caught it today. It wasn't striped this morning. But all the work's been done there on Oak Street.
A lot of times they'll let it cure.
They have to let it cure for a minute before they strike it.
The old jail is standing, the airfield looks good. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And our crew did a good job. Weaver Road, we had 2 citizens out there who were very patient with us, that they had not been able to have access for quite a while, but they worked with us, and I really appreciate what our crews did to get them back. So,
I'm gonna leave Kathy for last, because she always have a lot. So, Miss Jane?
Come around this way to the station. First of all, I want to remind everyone that cleanup is this Saturday. And I challenge each and every one of you to at least pick up 1 bag of trash. If you need bags, raise your hand, I'll be glad to get you bags. But we look for a good cleanup again this year. And as you know, we have signs placed around on roads. We'll have to do a few at a time. The ones we originally did said, "Thank you for not littering." Well, we changed it up this time. We put on here, "Please consider before you litter." So,
it rhymes.
you know of some road that's bad to have trash on it, you'll let us know. We'll get Public Works to put these signs up on the road. Hopefully it will help. I think those that we've got up now, we probably have, they're 30 to 40.
Close to it, yeah.
We have 10 of these right now, and I have 1 location that's been, said they want to do it. So if you have a road that is bad to be littered, we'll be glad to get one put up. You just let me know. It's our need. Try to change it up a little bit.
You have one on Primrose Road.
Primrose,
I know out there going to,
if you'll tell me the location where you want it.
right there, when you get, is that 54 going to the hotel? Right there in that area. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll let you know. Thank you.
Ms. Jane, have we designated where the sites are gonna be? Is they the same from the last time, or anything
Container
changed?
sites are the same.
Okay.
I think we've got 10 locations. Same place they've always been. Tires go to Public Works, unmounted tires go to Public Works. And, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. Appreciate all the hard work you do with that. Okay, I saw Ms. Carolyn.
I don't have anything,
All right, thank you for being here. Ms. Kathy?
I'll wait till, here, thank you.
Wait till public hearing, okay. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I think, did we get everyone? The department heads?
Just want to recognize also, we do have James Stevens, our Water and Sewer Authority Chairman, and of course Larry Dudways, the Water Authority Treasurer.
James, Mr. Stevens, would you like to share anything with water and sewer at this time?
Oh, not this time. Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Our next item on our agenda is public hearing. So at this time, I'd like to get a motion that we go out of regular session into public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Threadgill and second by Commissioner Bray. All right. I get a vote that we go into public hearing. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. So at this time, it's case number 16. And Ms. Kathy?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chairperson, fellow commissioners. Tonight we have case number 16, Floyd and Ruth Strickland, map and parcel 9142. They currently own 20.09 plus or minus acres on Strickland Town Road. They're requesting a rezoning of 2 to 3 acres of that property from LDR, which is a 5-acre minimum, to RD, a 2-acre minimum, for the purpose of deeding acreage off of Strickland Drive to a granddaughter for her to build a home. The surrounding properties are a mix of large and small tracts with private home sites. Surrounding property values will not be affected. No excessive or burdensome use of existing street, transportation, utilities, or schools will be created. This creation of a smaller lot conforms to the comprehensive plan of Meriwether County. At the time of rezoning application, the owners had applied and been approved on a CUVA renewal on the 20.09 acres. I've received verification from the tax assessor's office that the owners voluntarily withdrew their application for conservation for the 2019 tax year so that this split could be approved and recorded so no breach will occur. It is our recommendation to approve the rezoning request from LDR to RD for the purpose of having their granddaughter build a home.
Thank you. At this time, those who have signed up to speak at the public hearing, they can do so. I have a list. Mr. Floyd Strickland, would you like to say or share anything with the board at this time?
Just a reminder, Madam Chairman, 10 to 20 minutes by ordinance. Y'all can set the standards. Whatever you set, though, needs to be equal for proponents and opposition.
What did we say? Was it?
I really don't have anything to add to Ms. Johnson's description of what we're requesting to do. If you have any questions of me, Ruth, or Candy or Paula, please feel free to ask them. They've signed up to speak. They would be Marie's closest neighbors. So, we've all heard that it takes a village to raise children, and we've got 2 great-grandsons. One is 5 and the other 2, not 2, he's 14 months. And they're very much a part of those children's raising, and they just want to be a bigger part.
Thank you. Looking at our list, everyone on here is with your family, and they were all in favor. I don't have anyone on the list that's opposing this. So, at this time, we need to go, at least, do any commissioners have any questions or comments? If not, at this time, I'd like to ask for a vote that we go. Is there anyone else that want to speak that's opposing or have any comments regarding this in the audience?
Madam Chairman, it should also be any in favor of it that still want to add to the first speaker's comments, because they still have a full 10 minutes,
10
I think.
minutes. Is there anyone else that's in favor of this rezoning would like to speak at this time? Okay, so we have no one else that wants to speak in favor or in opposition. We've met our time frame. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a vote that we go out of public hearing.
So moved. Second.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Hadley and second by Commissioner Threadgill that we come out of public hearing. Ask for a vote. All those in favor? Vote carries. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to get a motion on the floor to accept the recommendation from our planning and zoning to go ahead and approve this rezoning.
Madam Chair, that falls squarely in my district, and I move we proceed with the rezone.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion by Commissioner McCoy and second by Commissioner Threadgill to accept the request for the rezoning. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So you have your village. And you're always so welcome. Okay, the next item on the agenda is, we don't... Oh, okay, that's why she gave us, okay, I see. All right, so, oh, that doesn't change the new business thing.
Yeah, you got to vote on it there.
Okay. All right, under public hearing, we do have another item, it's the 2019-2020 budget. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote that we go into public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, there was a motion by Commissioner Threadgill and second by Commissioner Bray. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Motion carried. We are now back into the public hearing. All right, at this time, is this for you, Bill? You want to?
Yeah, I've got the, Madam Chair, our earlier public hearing had a very extensive, what I thought was a really great discussion on the budget. And this is just a time for any additional questions from the board or from the public concerning this year's budget. It's a aggressive budget both on the revenue side and the expense side. Is an increase over last year's budget, as you know. Most of that is due to the increase in the valuation of the property tax digest, not a tax increase, just the value of the property in Marietta County. And that's all the comments I've got. Listen to any questions from the board or anybody in the audience.
I actually do have one.
Sure.
And I did not bring the other budget report with
It's
me.
in your packet, I think.
No, this one is, but the one where I had marked on, I know that under each individual department there were increases. I didn't notice a large increase under finance department for employees as well as under, for the ambulance department too, whatever we have that listed as. If we could just have a breakdown as to those increases, I would appreciate that.
Finance is the monies for the part-time help we have in the finance department. For the public safety, that would be, as we discussed in the public hearing, based on a full staff, in conjunction with the cost, what the actual cost was for the public safety department this year, which was over the budget of last year. We tried to estimate what that was.
So $130,000 increase.
It's,
So I think they said that we're going to actually be open for public safety this year, isn't that correct?
yes, ma'am, it's hard to budget, on my part, and keep finding birds. Just the amount of part-time people we have in that department. Hopefully, we'll be closer to the actual cost in the upcoming budget year.
I still want to sit down with you and we'll go over it.
Okay, sure.
Any other commissioners have any questions to our finance director? If not, Bill, I do have a question for you. I noticed under community service, for community action, I know they came and presented an amount to us, and I know we never as a board voted on it. I see it in the budget, so when we accept the budget, we're accepting this. All right, the thing that in their initial contract, they did this for a specific number of years. So are we voting on that for those amount of years?
As state law, you can only commit yourself on a yearly basis. You're only voting next year's amount.
Okay. Because it was never it was presented to us, it was never brought to us a board to vote on it. So that's why I'm asking. Okay.
So it would be the 10,000 for next fiscal year budget.
So if we do it the next year, we have to vote on it again.
Correct.
I can't find it. Oh, there it is.
So,
Okay, I see it. Yeah, I couldn't find it.
page 10.
Yeah.
I have one other question. It was on page 10. Where is the section for the fire department?
Very back. Very back.
Well, the one that they gave us for tonight. I don't know about, you got one.
Oh, it's a page, a couple of pages after page 11.
That was right. Go back one. Fire department. Is that what you're talking about?
Two pages revenue, agents, personal and expenses. So,
That was the one that you gave us, this is what you gave us in the work session. Okay. Okay, I do have some questions, but I'll just get with you later in reference to that.
Ask anyone of the audience.
Madam Chair, before you do, I have one comment. I know we've said it before, but I'd like to reiterate once again, just looking here at this budget. Over the last 3 years, we've managed to balance this budget. There's been no TAN, no tax increases. We actually did a rollback this year, and the budget of Meriwether County has actually grown to over 15 million. I think that's right impressive.
Yes.
That was my comment.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience that like to speak or have any comments regarding this at this time? We don't have anyone to sign up for it, but we do want anyone who would like to speak. Mayor Glover?
Mine is positive, although small. Thank you so much for the increase to our senior.
All right, does anyone have anything they want to speak once again on this? We've got the positive, and if someone has any issues with the budget or I don't use the word negative, but just got some other concerns, if you want to comment at this time, you're more than welcome to. If not, I'd like to ask that we go out of public hearing, get a motion that we come out of public hearing. Is there a second? Second. There's a motion by Commissioner Threadgill and second by Commissioner Gray for us to come out of public hearing. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We are now out of public hearing. The next item now is... I've got so much stuff. All right, so now we didn't have any unfinished business. So now we're in the new business. And under the new business is to vote and accept the 2019-2020 budget as it's been presented to us. So, Bill, would you like to make any more comments before we take a vote?
one point out to you, you have several budgets that you're voting on tonight. One is the general fund, in the amount of $15,047,130. Additionally, the fire district O&M budget, $389,000. I'm sorry, that's not right.
Yeah, that's 15. So I'm in the budget for the...
Here it is, I'm sorry. Fire district O&M, $1,549,039.
Okay.
And then the judiciary fund that we collect by state law, we have the jail fund, law fund, law library fund, E911, state fund, hotel motel tax.
Okay.
And I'll get back with the amounts of those budgets, but those are all revenue driven. Whatever we anticipate to collect, that's what we'll dictate that we can spend on those budgets. And those all total $389,000.
That's on the other additional page, page 1, and they both say page 1.
The last two pages.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to get a motion on the floor that we accept the 2019-2020 budget as been presented by our finance director. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Gray and a second by Commissioner Hadley. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We're in a new budget year in the next couple days. The next item under new business is the second reading of the timber ordinance. And Mr. Gay, is that you're going to speak on that?
Yes, ma'am, I will speak on this. This was a small tweak we did to the timber ordinance, and this was relating to the road requirements. And the change was that the driveway requirement and unpaved roads under certain circumstances, depending on weather conditions where other mud, rock, debris may be deposited into the county roadway. So that just gave some allowance on a scenario where the dirt road was involved. This is the second reading. I think this ordinance number needs to actually go to ordinance number 2019. Is it 03, Beverly?
I'll have to work on it.
We'll check that, but that 01 will change. It's, I think it's 03 or 04. But we'll put that as the final. I'll be happy to answer any questions we have. That's the only change that we have, have done, and it just allows a little bit of consideration and decision by the county departments on, paving, on the driveways coming to the turnpike.
So this is our second reading, so this is the one that we vote on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion that we accept the timber ordinance that's been presented and the changes that was made to it in our second reading.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Hadley and second by Commissioner Threadgill. All those in favor? Motion carries. Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
The next item on the new business, inmate work agreement, and is Bill going to present that, or you, Mr. Gay?
I'm going to ask Bill to step up, because he's done all the work on it, and talk about this. Bill, I'll start off, you jump in with everything.
Okay.
On this, buddy. We have before you tonight an inmate work agreement that Bill has worked with the warden in Harris County. We reviewed it, the county attorneys have reviewed it, everything looks good. The one advantage of this, I think, at the timing that we have is that one time before we discussed this, they were looking to have someone come in and have them sent to training. But I think now they have availability, hopefully, of a trained officer already. And so the provisions of this can start, in January. I think the date we were looking to make this effective. And they would provide 5 inmates, one full-time correctional officer, the rest of the workplace safety, everything, seems to be in hand. Of course, we'll need transportation, hand tools, chainsaws, signs, safety equipment, etc. Bill, I think you kind of worked on some of those numbers of what that would cost. You and I talked about it a little bit this afternoon. I think including the salary for the employee and the cost for the inmates for 12 months, we're looking at about $55,500. And then I think we had about $3,500 of $4,600 of safety and operations. So overall, we're looking at probably $62,000 a year for the operation and salaries. We would need to spend some dollars on the bus or vehicle. You have to have cages in the front and the back, and we have it work with all equipment. We need some chainsaws, pole saws, about $2,500, maybe $500 worth of miscellaneous tools. And one of the options that we were considering on the transportation is we have the bus that we used to use in conjunction with the, with the cotton picking fair and the other things. That bus has got a condition where it's not really as reliable as it needs to be. But that may very well be a good option for us on this. The size is just about right. And, that may be an option. We have checked it. It appears that it's pretty good mechanically. And I appreciate all Bill's work on getting that together. Anything else you think we need to share?
And if we didn't have that, we'd have to have a van with a trailer.
Right.
Full around.
So how much do we think it'll cost to get that bus ready?
They had it running last week.
We've got to put up caging.
So we'll have to, it'd probably take a good several weeks to create 2 cages in there, separate tools from the inmates and then from the officer. Do some strobe lights, and we have to do a little bit of paint work to put state inmates on the side and a number on the top of it. vehicle.
What do we think that'll cost?
With this afternoon, we looked, it was, of course, we don't know you really get started, but we said 5,000 or less, maybe.
Yeah.
May not be that much, but,
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be quite that much.
Any other?
That is if that's the vehicle we're
yeah,
gonna use.
that's right. We'd have to be sure you guys will want to dedicate that vehicle to that. But it was the only available vehicle we could figure out in the fleet that would meet the criteria. And hauling a trailer is an option, but I tell you, sometimes it's a pain as well. And it's better if you get it all in one contained bus. Have to haul a trailer.
Is that bus ours?
Yes.
Or not belong to the IDA?
It's not
Does anyone else have any questions or concern?
Well, I have one, I mean, it's really a comment, if I'm reading this right, when we enter into this agreement in January,
Right.
it goes till June,
Goes
only
to
6
June,
months.
and then it's a-
And then after that, it's a 12-month contract
Right.
after that.
And I think they undoubtedly on
It's probably on their fiscal year,
Yeah.
I understand.
Fiscal year starts.
That's sort of good for us, we get 6 months to see how it works.
Right.
You know,
And either party could get out of
Yeah,
this with
yeah.
60 days, I think it is, notice.
hopefully it's gonna be what.
Hopefully it'll work well. Down, they're gonna be able to, use chainsaws, pole saws, clean ditches,
Cut back.
things like that. They'll work, 4 to 10 hour days?
That's what it's for,
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday.
But that 10-hour also includes
Travel.
travel time. So really an 8-hour day probably.
Yeah, and it's estimated about an hour's worth of travel.
And then lunch on top of that, so
Yeah, and you have mandatory breaks in the morning and afternoon, so those are 15 minutes apiece.
I was just saying, I mean, I know we'll have to work out what they do or whatever, but stuff like keeping the grass cut here and at the courthouse, I know that sort of gets pushed to the side when other more pressing things come along, but especially around the courthouse, it just needs to be cut on, I know, so maybe that's something we could put on that list that could be done, looked at on a weekly basis, maybe.
Also-
Get some weed eaters, pick up trash.
Yeah, and they've got some lawn care equipment.
Also, Bill, from my understanding, that initial first year, that amount will drop because the first year is paying for those additional costs for the van and everything of that way. So this initial amount the first year, if you choose to go into it the second year, that will drop down. Is that correct on that?
Right, we're kind of estimating 60 to 62,000 on an annual basis if we have to purchase an automobile or a vehicle. That's where your initial cost and some of the chainsaw equipment.
Okay,
So
so that's the one, okay.
What we
because-
left out of it today was the vehicle, since we think we may have a viable vehicle.
Okay,
Now, what are the stipulations on they don't work in what type of weather?
28 degrees and less and pouring down rain unless it's an emergency. You can give them rain gear and as long as the employees are working, they can't ask us an emergency. And 28 degrees. And then during the summer, after it gets like 95 degrees, you have to have more breaks during the day.
And this will, we feel will be a help to address a lot of some of our road issues. But it's not gonna really address everything that we need to do. We're gonna have to continue to work on that.
Like I said, we could just put some of the things that Public Works has to stop and do, such as things I mentioned, and get that on a regular basis, and hopefully it could free us up to get a better schedule going with our other workers.
You'll have more, like sort of a special projects detail here, to catch up some of those things, they don't have to stop another crew.
That's right.
But since they can use chainsaws and things like that, I think the priority needs to be these ditches that have grown so badly.
Trees that are falling out in the right of way.
Yeah, they're as big as you and I in the right of ways. We need to probably put them on that too.
Bridge abutments around the bridges.
Bill, I want to personally say thank you for going back, doing the due diligence on this. We had talked about this the first of the year. Most counties are using this service, and for our size of county, we definitely need. But as been stated, we're going to have to look at other options as well. I mean, this is not going to fix everything, but at least it gives a start, especially right now. So the question is the contract didn't go in effect until January?
January.
January.
We had it approved today, and then, if we go ahead and if you guys are willing to approve it tonight, I think Harris County stands ready to approve it first week of October.
They're waiting on
Yeah,
this.
they're ready to go. We met last Monday, and we have it here before you.
I will say I'm glad we have the first 6 months, because I am a little skeptical. I know that we need the additional assistance. I just hope the amount of money that we're spending is worth it. So I hope we see that, because I am skeptical.
Good opportunity to see.
Any other commissioners have any other comments or anything? Thank you so much, appreciate that.
And are y'all okay with us looking at that bus as an option for that?
I think so, yes.
But I would bet, I thought Miss Jane had found that bus and bought that with the
I thought that
IGA,
is.
but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I found the bus and was willing to pay for it, but the public works department had money in their budget.
Okay.
All right.
But it's gotten to a
Bad
point,
shape. I mean, it's fine for something like this. It's not in the shape that I would want to take anybody on.
Well, I remember you guys
I
were
want
going to do
another
for
bus.
Put equipment in it and stuff like that, yeah.
At this time, I need a motion on the floor that we accept the contract agreement for the inmate service in Meriwether County.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Hatley and second by Commissioner Gray that we go into this contract. Can I get a vote? All those in favor? Anyone opposes? Motion carries. Thank you so much. The next item on the list is the defects lease.
yes, ma'am. But, Chairman Commissioners, we got an email saying we need to get the lease on DFAC, but when we actually printed out and took a look at it, this is just an agreement where they can put into the lease, so there's like rentals and everything else that we need to include in this. So what I'd like to do is just respond back and we'll get together and see what the rent has been, and then they will come back to the lease. This is for leasing the building, and once we get that into a formalized lease, I will bring it back to the board. But this is in actuality, after Beverly printed out for me, I took a look at it, it's really kind of like, almost like a questionnaire to be sure that all the terms are included.
So there's no reason for a vote or
No,
anything
not
else, just information. Okay, thank you. The next item is to confirm the 2019 automated aid agreement by and between the Fire Department of Pike County
Yes, ma'am.
and Meriwether County.
And the chief is here and
Elaborate on that.
details on it, but it's always good to have an automatic aid agreement with all your surrounding jurisdictions. And what that means is if Pike County has an issue, we can respond and help them, and if we have an issue near their border, they can respond to help us. And it actually helps, I think, in the ISO ratings sometimes. Chief, come up, if you don't mind. I think it actually helps in the ISO ratings if we have people that are outside of our period of time or our time period. I mean, our 5 mile distance, I think, that they can count that service.
It certainly does. We already benefit from those agreements with the city of Greenville and Coweta and Truth and some of those other areas. So. Pike was also crucial in getting this established because I can't find any paperwork. It's probably been done before, but I can't find any previous paperwork for Pike County. And so we're not going to probably get our hands slapped on it, but legally we can't enter that jurisdiction without this paperwork. We've got former versions with everybody else, but I couldn't find one for Pike, so we wanted to go ahead and get that resolved.
And these are usually just
Oh, yes.
and these are usually just handled almost kind of between the departments, but we wanted to put it back into the minutes. That's the reason. So
I just noticed a typo that's on here, so it's the second paragraph.
That is being corrected.
Okay.
I apologize for that.
Mark, yeah.
I won't lie, and off of this came from, actually they extended it.
See, we do read these. We really do read.
The original is being corrected,
Okay.
and when we get that back, we'll have that for you also.
So we just need to make sure that we vote that we're voting on the.
Yes.
Meriwether. Say Meriwether.
Meriwether. I
We could probably roll them together. I don't know if it would do any good though.
Does any of the commissioners have any questions or comments at this time for the chief regarding this matter? Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to get a motion on the floor that we accept this agreement based on the necessary change that needs to be made where it says Lamar, it needs to be changed to Meriwether. So moved. All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Hadley and second by Commissioner Threadgill. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item is this, I think it's item number 6.
Yeah.
5.
6.
6.
6 is right.
So this is for you, Theron. You want to speak on this?
Yes, ma'am. I think this is the issue of discussion of the newspaper article, and I'm not going to go into great detail on this tonight, but I'll be happy to answer any questions. But I do think it's important that we point out some facts on this issue. In a couple different papers, there was a report on Hogansville levying fines against Meriwether County. And, there's a lot of allegations here from, some of the Meriwether County, City of Hogansville officials. And some of that information is actually false and kind of misleading. Prior to the construction of the industrial park, the county and Hogansville each had planned to build their own wastewater treatment facility. But EPD come in and said, look, you guys need to work together to become partners and do one facility. So the agreement was reached. Meriwether County agreed to fund $1.6 million of the project, and in turn, we would have 20% of the plant capacity. Thus, we become a partner and part owner, not just a user of the system. Well, we have, the newspaper article has referred to the fact that, that we have to pre-treat, we have not done this, that they have fined us, that we have not paid the fines, etc. And all of that is not completely true. We have worked with them, as I said earlier. We extended the time period. They didn't delay the construction. They didn't get it built in time. Water and Sewer Authority unanimously approved, working with them all the way. The authority has continued to cooperate and work with Hogansville, but with a change in the city management, the communication and cooperation has become very contentious at times. Instead of working towards solutions as we've done in the past, it now has evolved into threats and demands and replacing that excellent working relationship that we've enjoyed in the past. And the same contentious approach has been expanded beyond just the water and sewer issues and into other issues as well, and to other entities, including, for example, the city of Manchester, who was looking to sell their natural gas system. And the city of Hogansville decided, well, let's challenge that. Manchester's a long way from Hogansville. It was their system. And there's others that I've also talked to that they've seen attempts at rate increases, a variety of things. We tried to settle everything in a cooperative manner, but we keep getting subjected to threatened emails and letters and demand and legal threats and attempts at levying fines without legal standing to do so. The authority and the county were also visited by Manchester, Hogansville and the city manager, and we were asked to contribute another $600,000 in additional funds over and above the $1.6 billion that we had agreed to in the contract, because apparently they were running short on some of their construction costs. But that was not the fault of Meriwether County. If they were running short on their construction costs, it was because of their actions and not ours. The actual cost for the plant was still consistent with what the estimate was when it had begun, and our $1.6 billion was still our appropriate contribution didn't owe the extra $600,000 that they were demanding and wanting us to consider. When this was pointed out, they took off and we didn't hear from them about that again. But we have received continuous threats, requests for additional funding, involvement in other Meriwether County and Manchester matters, and their attempt to levy fines and fees almost on everyone associated with Meriwether County. It appears as if Hogansville maybe is trying to resolve their issues on the backs of the Meriwether County taxpayers and businesses. And we feel that's very unfair, particularly in light of the fact that they're claiming that the citizens of Hogansville are subsidizing us. That's not the case. It's kind of ironic that all of the threats and the attempts of these levying the fines and all this rhetoric began after the Water and Sewer Authority pointed out to them, we're not obligated or we able to send you another $600,000, but we will go ahead and pay you the 1.6. After the $1.6 billion was received, that's when the rhetoric and the threats and all started coming in. And anyone who believes, and there's apparently some people that have responded that they believe this, that Meriwether County Water and Sewer Authority has caused their residents to pay more taxes, I think they should first examine the city's operation and the reasons for the delay in construction of the facility and any overruns they have. Someone mentioned that there were games being played. If there are, they're not coming from Meriwether County. Despite all this rhetoric from the city management, Meriwether County Water and Sewer has continued to move forward with compliance with the provisions of the agreement. We have, we've updated our sewer ordinance to mimic theirs, and the Water and Sewer Authority is working hard to manage compliance with all the wastewater treatment plants. The authority has also visited every sewer customer they have, advised of the upcoming changes, received feedback. That information has helped the authority analyze the flow and the loadings and the discharge to determine if there is need for industrial pretreatment. The sewer ordinance, as I said earlier, has been updated to mirror Hogansville, and this has been the plan of action from the start and will continue. Now, we did have, and we acknowledge that we had one issue with one of our industrial users that exceeded the discharge limits. The authority has taken action to correct that issue, and that action is already in place. And representatives of Meriwether County Water and Sewer met with Hogansville officials on June the 26th to discuss the issue, give an update on what we're doing with the sewer ordinances, and discuss actions they're taking. So they know the actions we're taking, and they know that we're moving forward with this. Now, higher than normal flow will sometime occur in the event of heavy rains, etc., and they're beyond anybody's control. And anyone who has managed a wastewater treatment facility knows this. When the Water and Sewer Authority investigated this, there was some grading going on, construction activities. They got caught in a period of very heavy rainfall, which helped contribute to the events. And as I said earlier, their authority representatives met with them, and we're working to resolve that issue and minimize any future occurrence. Also, we don't know that they were the only contributor. In an event of heavy rain, other sewer flows increase as well, including those inside the hose. As far as not being pre-treated, the reality is Georgia EPD had issued a ruling with this industrial user before, back in 2014, and it did not require an industrial pre-treatment. Now, since then, I think they've expanded, there's been more work, and I believe there will be, and that is currently under review. As far as the Hogansville taxpayers having to remedy this situation, any system cost on a sewer system, water system, is usually passed on to the users of the sewer system, the sewer fees, not the taxpayers. And Hogansville needs to keep in mind that Meriwether County Water and Sewer Authority customers pay for sewer as well. And that Meriwether County is a partner with the city and has invested $1.6 billion during 2019 into the program. And the the authority in the county's position has always been, we're gonna do the right thing, we're gonna comply with the provisions of the contract with the open school, and, again, do the right thing. But Meriwether County's actions will not be dictated by the threatened emails, the letters, and the attempts at levying the unlawful fines. Unfortunately, Hogansville City Manager believes that fines are a motivator, when in reality, fines, especially the illegal fines, have the opposite effect. These issues could have been resolved months ago if Hogansville management didn't feel the need to manage relationship with threats and innuendos. Water and Sewer Authority has repeatedly offered to cover the verifiable cost incurred by Manchester in correcting any issue caused by Meriwether County Sewer, and to assist with any fines or penalties that have been issued by EPD that resulted from these actions. And while the authority has repeatedly asked for records verifying these costs, Hogansville to this point has refused to provide the documents. Instead, they attempt to profit by levying illegal punitive fines against Meriwether County Water and Sewer. And we've been told by the city manager that they were levying fines by EPD, but there's no records available for that, not even on the, from the state. They've also used incorrect sampling methodologies to try to add additional penalties. They've not been doing that right. They've not been following EPD guidelines. And I think this is an attempt to maximize the fees and penalties that they hope to collect from the backs of Meriwether County's businesses and the citizens. It's interesting, in the same newspaper edition that mentioned this levy of the fines, they also said, well, they're increasing our water rates, which is okay. And again, they're saying, well, we're subsidizing them. Well, I say, shame on them. They had the ability to do this. They could have always gone and looked at our fines. They chose not to do that for some reason. And, and that is their fault. That is not our fault. And, that should be their responsibilities. Now, maybe the residents of the city need to question their lack of management of their water and sewer system, and why that they always want to point the finger of their shortcomings at everybody else. As stated earlier, Meriwether County and Meriwether County Water and Sewer Authority will do everything in our power to be a good partner and do the right things in terms of fairness and cost of the operation. What we will not do is allow the city's management to bully our citizens and business and attempt to take advantage of the county. We've offered numerous times to cover those actual costs, but to this point they've refused that offer and just continue to attempt to overcharge and penalize the county. Partnership is a two-way street. We're willing to do our part, and the advantages of working together is far too important to allow some personalities to negatively impact our long-term relationship. Our hope is that Hogansville will come to the table with us. Let's treat this in a fair manner, and let's resolve this issue. We've got other things to do. This is a huge waste of energy and time. And, and quite honestly, Meriwether County does not owe that. We will do everything that's right, but we're not going to be bullied by the, attempts at raising this, or I will issue you this citation, etc. And this has been going on for a while. It could have been resolved a long time ago. Our Water and Sewer Authority has done a great job with this. We've met with them on repeated occasions, and the rhetoric and the threats and the phone calls, if you've got till 12 o'clock today to call me back, just continue. And it's not something that we need. Long after those personalities are gone, this agreement will be working for Meriwether County and for Hogansville. And everyone needs to take a look at this. Is bigger than individuals. This is an agreement. We have long-standing for the economic viability of both entities. So.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Does any commissioners want to comment or?
Well, just a quick comment, Madam Chair. Ms. Courtney, this letter takes front page. Everybody else goes to second page.
There's your copy.
One thing I'd like to add with the Water and Sewer Authority, this is no way to treat your partner. We're a partner with them on this wastewater treatment plant. We shouldn't be, having to do this.
That's Larry Dunaway from the quote.
Yeah. I'm the treasurer of the Water and Sewer Authority.
gonna have to write the check.
Anyone else have any other comments or anything? No, thank you for sharing that information. It was
I'm
very
sorry I
thorough.
have to break that,
That's
but
all right.
this was unfair.
If not, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is setting a public hearing for October the 22nd. And this public hearing is for,
It's for the cell tower.
Cell
Kathy,
tower.
what was the,
Ryan Devine is representative, and I believe it is Verizon. I'm not.
it was Verizon, yes. And their attorney had contacted us. We were trying to see if we could talk to them about moving it a little bit. The gentleman who was here that night said no. Then the attorney called back the next day and said, hey, we would be willing to look at this, consider it. And in lieu of filing any litigation to try to challenge this, they asked if the board would consider just resetting it here in this issue, which is what we recommend.
so there's not a need for a vote on this. It's just going to
What you
be
need
part
to
of
say
it.
is you need
Just
to
set for the public hearing.
Right. No other decision other than setting the public hearing. That will allow Kathy to be able to advertise.
Okay. In that case,
And they
I'll
don't cover the cost
They will
for
cover the
us
cost.
to do this.
That's right. They'll cover all the costs of
This time I'd like to get a motion on the floor that we set a public hearing for October the 22nd to hear the case regarding the cell tower.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There was a motion by Commissioner Hatley and a second by Commissioner McCoy. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda, I think we covered everything that was added on, am I correct?
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. As a report from our finance director.
Madam Chair, you've got the county bank balance, all of our various accounts in front of you. General fund savings, that's it, $725,000. The magic date is October 15th, that's when we receive our insurance tax from the state. We've got one payroll and two check runs. Started just one check run. It'll be about $500,000 to $600,000. We'll have the end of the month money's coming in, so we should be in good shape. I did move the balance in the E911 account up to general fund, as we normally do this time of the year. So that got us over the hump, so we're in good shape.
No tan.
Okay.
3 years in a row.
That's right.
Any commissioners have any questions or comment to our finance director? If not, thank you, Bill. Appreciate that update. Report from our county administrator.
Yes, ma'am. I'll speak very, very quickly here. As I said earlier, we completed the second reading, the second draft of our ordinance recodification. We covered those changes. With Meeting Code, we have presented several T-SPLOS programs that are being scheduled. The parking lot behind the tax building is underway. I'm sure Commissioner McCoy is going to talk more about Lake Meriwether and the great event we had there. We've been working on ordinances, sewer issues, our fee structures, subdivision ordinance, road and bridge ordinance, and have received our landfill report for the September on our methane monitor, and everything is fine and good, with the Durant.
Okay, thank you.
And you have to answer your questions, that's all I have.
Anyone have any questions for our county administrator? If not, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did have one more thing, and I circled it here, and Larry, I circled it right here because I was going to call him Larry. We mentioned and talked about the bus at the Cotton Picket Fair before. We have historically taken the bus and helped out with that issue. The bus is not in good condition, but the school system, and we thank them for this, they are going to allow the school bus to be utilized. And Larry has asked that if we could support tourism by providing a driver for that, and the school system is okay with us providing a driver to drive.
And it's just their small white bus, so it'll be adequate for what we're doing. And it worked out, it's air conditioned. It's 6 months old.
But
Maybe that's start a conversation about the county buying another bus for the county.
But it still requires a CDL, correct?
It doesn't, but CJ has got a CDL.
Okay, fine.
That particular bus does not require because of the size, the other ones do.
Okay.
But CJ's gonna go out there and I filled out the form over today, and CJ will go by and show up his license. And we will arrange to pick it up on Friday afternoon. About pick it up.
Sounds good.
I'm certainly there. That brings it.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is report from our county commissioners. Commissioner Threadgill.
I will apologize for taking so much. I have a sick family member, so people have been texting about medications, so I do apologize for that. But, you know, one thing we need to do in the county is come together a little bit more. Everybody, I've been trying to think of ways to do it. And one thing that we miss out on in these meetings, or it's usually a commissioner that does the prayer, the invocation. We have so many churches throughout this county, and I actually saw this in another county. I think if we start utilizing and rotating different pastors, ministers, preachers, what have you, to come in and do that invocation and tell them bring 2 to 3 church members with them each time, and we just take it from different ends of the county until we go through the entire rotation. I think that'll be a way to maybe bring in something different for us, because I know y'all get tired of hearing us, so let's bring in something different, and I think that brings the community in a little bit better. It's not going to solve everything for all of us coming together, but I would like to see that happen. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Brown.
I would just like to compliment Kathy on our tenant hug first contractor meeting. I think it was a great success for her, so I want to compliment her on that. Also, I want to re-express this movie on the square. The guy that sponsored this, he does a business here in Greenwood, DMM, and he do very good work, and a lot of people use him. So this is the first time Greenwood will be having a movie on the square, but you will be seeing the posters and the banners that he did for the country Christmas, so I give him a thumbs up. That's it.
Thank you. I don't have anything at this time.
I don't have anything.
Commissioner Allen.
Wow. I got a couple of items I do want to go over here. And the first thing I'm going to do, rather than Lake Meriwether, is I was going to cover the airport real quickly. Somebody mentioned earlier the old prison is down, and that looks a whole lot better. I believe the airport authority is working and is scheduled to fly in for next month, so we need to keep tabs on that so we can make sure everybody knows when
I
that's
saw
coming
it's
off.
the 19th. I
That's
saw
right,
something
Trey
on
is,
that.
Trey is working. I saw him just the other day and talked with him. That young man, I think, is under 20 years old, and he did it for us the last time, so we're expecting big things there. The other thing, too, I don't want us to let this get too far away from us. Maybe as early as the end of this year, we can start looking at that new fuel station down there, because it's getting close, and we're probably losing some revenue there, so we probably need to move on. We've already agreed we're going to do that. Lake Meriwether, last Saturday, it culminated into us having an open house after the several years of work, and special people. Miss Carolyn's been heavily involved in this. Primarily what we did down at Lake Meriwether was done with grant money and with private donation. Of course, there's some ends there the county had to tie together for us. But in the last 3 years, I'll go back that far, we built the new cabin down there, which the county did supply the materials for that, and the Hurd family actually built the cabin that's there. But since that time, we have a gate down there now that locks. It really secures the place. As you looked around down there this Saturday, there were a number of RVs down there. The camping over in the tent area was not crowded by any means, but there were several campers over, and we got to look at what we have done, bringing everything, what we think's up to standard. We have an electrical grid down there for doing festivals and that sort of thing. It's probably second to nobody else's in the county. We have a great grid down there now.
The bathrooms have all been brought up. They're now ADA compliant, and they're looking, it's come quite a way. I don't know how many people actually took advantage of the trail, but that is nicely has come along. The trailhead's been established. It looks really good. That's going out around the lake. And then the other thing, of course, we have the ADA trail down there now. And when you go out to the fishing area, we have when I say the fishing area, for the boats to launch, there's a dock there that has really helped, I think, the facility quite well. And the last thing that we've done is put in what is being known as the scenic overlook, which is pretty much a dock that people that are under ADA that have a disability will be able to drive down and park, take their wheelchairs out onto that if they would like. So in the midst of all, fish. And in the midst of all this, of course, we have fees that we charge down there, but we've taken in some pretty good receipts down there, even this summer. I think we're probably got up around $2,500 there 1 or 2 months, which is fairly decent. We have a new caretaker down there. Mr. Herman O'Neill is taking over. Of course, we had to bid Mr. Robert Fond farewell. He's left us now. He's got family things that he has to do, and he's just not able to be with us any longer. But I thought it really turned out well, and it's just nice to have Lake Meriwether sitting almost in the center of the county here, and it's kind of a jewel that not many folks know about. But the more that they come in, and the more they see, the more they seem to come back. And certainly thank Public Works for all that they've done to help us with everything that's gone on there. With that being said, Madam Chair, that's about all I have.
Do we have anything from our attorney?
No report from me, and I think we handled all executive session business in the work sessions.
Okay.
Your stock's going up every day.
I said earlier I didn't have anything, and I apologize, but Miss Carolyn would be so upset with me if I didn't mention the fact that this week they had the graduation class from Leadership Meriwether, and it was a really great opportunity to speak to those who have finished that program. If you've not been a part of Leadership Meriwether, I encourage you to become a part of that. It's a great way to see how our county, all the different aspects of the county, and this is sponsored by the Chamber. So once again, I want to thank them for all the work that they do. And we had an exciting class, I do believe, this time. Very interesting class. So I'm remiss not to bring that up. And your next class is when?
February. I don't have the exact date, but it's February 2020, and we're recruiting now for candidates. So if anybody wants to self-nominate or nominate someone else, we'd love to hear from you.
And I also want to thank the county for always making sure that we have someone from the county that's a part of that leadership. I think Sue from Public Works has been there. I know the chief has taken the class. So once again, if you're going to be a leader, or whether you think of yourself as a leader or not, just getting the training and understanding the impact that you can have in your community, this is a great opportunity. I see Bill over here pushing his hand to Beverly, so Beverly, you're next in line, you know.
You already got her on the list.
Okay.
Should I ever go draw straws, which one of them? I think, Kathy, you worked.
Kathy's gone. Skip, have you been yet? All right, so you can go with her. So I know Veronica Dow, she has been part, Mayor Glover's been a part of that class. Tyrell. So we've had a lot of people, James, you've gone through that class. Yeah, so we appreciate all those, and it's open to any and everyone. So it's a good opportunity to understand what goes on in our county. At this time, public comments. This is an opportunity for those who have taken the time to come to be a part of our meetings, to come and share your concerns. If you want to make comments, whatever, feel free.
Nobody signed up.
Nobody signed up, but you can come on and just give us your name. What else you need, Beverly? Address?
My name is Sue Ann Reed, and I reside at 3398 Mount Piggin Road. Good evening to all y'all commissioners. Glad to be here. I'm glad that you all give us the opportunity to come in and speak with you. And what I'm here to talk about is I did have opportunity to go to the September 11th meeting about the T-Splosh that was given by Commissioner Gray and Commissioner Gay. I did learn a lot there, and how the T-Splosh actually works. It has to be on the ballot on November the 5th. The community has to vote on it and pass it. So if it's passed, which the citizens have to make that possible, then we have an opportunity to have this program for 5 years. So the first year per Commissioner Gay, it should come in. Yeah, is it Gay?
You don't make him a commissioner.
Mr. Gay would never stoop that low.
Mr. Okay, Mr. Okay. Well, you know, you got to keep coming to learn all these positions y'all hold. But anyway, within that year, he said, should generate about $1 million. So, within that $1 million, you know, in the past, I don't know how much T-Splosh brought in to help pave the road or help with the community, you know, doing the maintenance and all of that. But, you know, that's in the past, so I'm looking at the present, the upcoming years. So if it's passed, what I need to know, what the community needs to know, the roads that are considered being paved, we want to make sure that Mount Pilgrim is on that list. We don't want to be put on the back burner and covered up.
Okay.
We wanted to keep letting you all know we're sitting around the table with you all, and we want to eat good too. We want something good. But anyway, we just want to keep it before you because we feel it's important to us because you all need to know how we feel because we don't want to have to use it each and every day, you know. So we just want you all to know when the money do come in, the $94,000 you say that probably will pave a mile. Is that right? Is that correct?
It's about, no, it's to pave a mile is going to be somewhere, based upon previous contract, it's about $500,000 for a mile.
Right.
Your road is, to get to all the subdivisions, about 6/10 of a mile. Plus, Mr. Carpenter and I had talked, and he had brought it up, and I thought it was a good idea of looking at some other ways, maybe the full depth reclamation with soil cement as a way to save. So maybe we can shave that 500 to 250, 300, which allows us to pave more dirt roads in the county.
Okay, but I understand, but I just want to make sure that Mount Pilgrim is on that road. I hear you, but I want to make sure our road is on that list. You know, that's what I'm concerned about. Now, you said it was a good candidate.
I did say it was a good candidate.
And I listened very well and I take good notes.
And I used your road without calling the name of the road as an example. I used it today.
Well, good. That let me know you're thinking about it.
That's right.
So that's why I just want to represent the community. You know, we want to be heard too, you know. But it's nothing. I know we're not going to see nothing right tomorrow. But when the money is dispersed, please think about us.
Thank you.
You know, I thank y'all for lending your ears and your hearts tonight. Thank you.
I do want to say something, Madam Chair. I appreciate you coming before us with the positive attitude. It is so great because you could have came before us and said, we demand this, we want this, you gotta do. So it is so nice, and I promise you that sticks in our head too. So
Thank you.
But y'all do your citizens to make your neighbor and make sure they get out the vote. That's important.
I'm already on that. Believe me, I make my telephone calls to all of my residents in the area. So
I'll hold a sign for you. I'll do it for free.
I got a big sign up there. They know what the day is. November the 5th. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to sign.
Anyone else that would like to come up and speak, come up to the podium, give us your name and your address.
My name is Johnson Reeves. I reside at 740 Leroy Robinson Road. And I just appreciate this opportunity to come for once and speak. And he said to be positive. I'm not sure it's going to be positive. I've been coming to these meetings for 6 years. Leroy Robinson Road has been asked to put on the list, the so-called list, for let's see, 43 years? I would like to know now how to get on with this. I listened to your T-SPLOS presentation. I heard that would be that $1 million that would go out. My problem with the county commissioners and the road people is that you continually say, we have money to put on roads, and you go through and you do the same roads. I look now at Meadowboom Road, you repaved it. I'm looking at the lower end of Strickland Town Road, you redone it. I'm looking at Gold Mine Road, you redone this. I'm looking at a little strip of road, right there, I can't think of the name, but it's where the Pumpkin Patch Place is. You redone that. All these roads have been redone and they've been restriped. The little section that it runs in front of Paul's Chapel has been redone about half a mile. So what I'm thinking is, if you continue, mathematically speaking, doing the same roads over and over, they've had the opportunity to be paved, and you won't look at the roads that have not been repaved. If you come down Leroy Robinson Road, you will see, common sense tell me something. If I pull the ditch, and if I go around, and I call myself even bush hogging, cutting grass on the side, and I don't pull out fallen trees from the road, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to clog up. It's going to run over. And we're going to have to do the same thing. It's dust on that road. There are holes in the road. There should be promised to us a pipe that should have been increased in size because of the overflow front. We have buses, we have the garbage boat, we have everything coming down that road, and we never get anything done to it. You promised it. I called you, I emailed you, I called Terrell, I asked, and I've tried to be nice. I have. And I looked at this T-SPLOS, and I am thinking right now, if I get out, am I going to vote for it? Am I going to encourage folks to vote for it? Because you're going to take the same dollars earmarked for this and redo roads that already had opportunity to be paved and never look at this unpaved road. I think he says 345 miles unpaved.
Yeah, 300.
Okay. So
No,
what I
it's
want to
200
do is Leroy Robinson is about 1 mile. I want to be one of that 345.
Thank you. Anyone else like to comment or have any statements, or are we still in public comment?
I would like for Mr. Gates to explain the difference in resurfacing and paving, just for the record, so that she will know why we're resurfacing and not paving.
I'll be happy to do that. Commissioner, right now we get about $780,000 for the year GDOT. We have to match that with 30%. So we end up with a road program over the last few years. We run about $1.2 billion. Okay?
No, I need for you to explain it to her, so she will know the difference.
Okay. So the $1.2 billion that we spend is for resurfacing existing roads. Now, that only resurfaces 10 or 12 miles of road, and that's only because y'all changed your method, or we wouldn't be doing it to 4 or 5. So at the same time, if you put that money into paving dirt roads, you can only pave 2 miles of dirt roads a year, and you have the 12 miles of paved roads that you've already paved in the past, you're trying to resurface, would then revert to dirt roads over a period of time, and it cost you a lot more to go back. Instead of $110,000 or $20,000 a mile, if you want to restore it from a dirt road, you'd be looking at a $500,000 a mile. So to go into the dirt roads and pave those is it's just not practical. Right now we spend every penny. It takes half of the sales tax SPLOS that we receive now just to match the GDOT big money. And there's just been no money to pave dirt roads. That's why the T-SPLOS has been brought forward as an option, is to consider paving the dirt roads. And right now, with all the dirt roads we have and the cost, we're not going to be able to pave them all. They don't all need paving. But we are going to be looking at the ones that serve the most highest density of citizens and trying to make a program, go forward with that. Right now, there's just not enough dollars. You really need, if every road in the county was up to date now, it was good, you have to pave 18 and a half miles or so of road every year to be able to cover all your roads over a 20-year period. So it will take you, if you pave 18 miles a year, it will take you 20 years to pave your roads and pave every one of them again or resurface them. But we don't have enough money to do that. So we're actually getting behind every year. We're 6 or 7 miles behind what we should be resurfacing, and our roads aren't anywhere near a 20-year life. We have most of our roads that won't be anywhere near a 20-year life. The things we talked about doing tonight with your road and bridge program will make some of those roads a 20-year road. But the roads we have now are not 20-year roads, and we're just getting further and further behind, even though you guys are doing all you can, spending all the available dollars. There's just not enough dollars. The last road that was paved from dirt was Alley Road, and that was like 10 years ago. And there's just been no dollars since then, so the cost is...
Can I make a rebuttal? Let me say this. Mathematically, if you take your dollars and spend all your dollars resurfacing roads that are already been paved, you would never pay an unpaved road. My stipulation is that you take some of these dollars that you are resurfacing, put them aside, and pave an unpaved road. It's already dirt. They had opportunity to ride on a paved road without the dust and wood and all that stuff.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do. But it's not a good investment for the taxpayers to take and pave 2 miles of roads when you've got 20 miles of roads or hundreds of miles of roads that really need to be repaved. If those that be resurfaced, if those roads that are paved now are not taken care of and resurfaced, you're looking at, instead of a cost of $110,000 or $20,000 a mile, you're looking at a $500,000 a mile project. So it's not economically viable to do that, but we understand the need for paving the dirt roads, and that's why we put together the T-Splosh program. So,
That's one thing we've talked about with T-Splosh. And there are some roads that are better candidates than others.
Yes.
When you get into, you've got to have right of way. There's lots of things that come into play.
there is.
There's some roads dirt roads that will probably never be a candidate to be paved. People have to give up stuff too sometimes.
This didn't start recently with this board. This is a long-term problem that you guys have inherited. It's not something we can get out of, but you got to take a step somewhere, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
Thank everybody for the comments. Commissioner Bird, you have to? All right. There is no need for an executive session. We had that earlier after our work session. Future meetings and notice, October the 9th is our regular meeting, which is at 9 a.m. And then October the 22nd will be our regular evening meeting at 6 p.m.
And on that meeting, Madam Chairman, we're going to limit that to just public hearings unless there's, emergency of other items.
So October the 22nd, regular meeting is just a public hearing, unless there's something that's an emergency, otherwise it'll be on that. If not, if no one else have anything else they want to comment on, I will go ahead and we'll adjourn the meeting. Have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second? So there's a motion by Commissioner Threadgill, a second by, Commissioner McCoy. All those in favor? Motion carried. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.